Hi friends, it's Cassie Wrona, your local Antelope Valley Realtor and beyond. I've thought about what the number one question is I get from my buyers and sellers, and it typically is, what's my bottom line? How much is it gonna cost me? How much money do I need to buy or sell a home, right? Let's bottom line it here. So if you're a buyer, that's really gonna depend first and foremost on the type of loan program you're using and how much down payment you need. All the figures on a down payment are based off of the final sales price of a home. So depending on the loan program you're using, your down payment could be anywhere from 0 down payment to, above 3.5%. Typical for first-time home buyers are using what's called a FHA loan program. And so the down payment typically is 3.5%. If you're a VA buyer, 0 is required for a down payment. And then if you're a conventional loan buyer, there's different down payment requirements. There's so many other loan types out there, USDA, down payment assistance. So it's really going to hinder on that. So down payment is one portion of funds you'll need to close. The other portion is going to be a buyer's closing costs. And dependent on the market we're in, a seller may or may not help with a buyer's closing cost. In the market we're in today, I counsel my buyers and I let them know that you should plan and prepare to pay all your own closing costs. Because the market is so competitive, sellers aren't having to pay closing costs right now, and they're getting so many offers on homes that's just one of the ways to make your offers stand out above the rest when you're not asking for a seller to contribute towards any of your closing costs. It's just going to be really hard right now in today's market to get a buyer's closing cost paid by a seller. What do closing costs consist of? They consist of reoccurring and non-reoccurring items. So the non-reoccurring would be like escrow, title fees, notary. The reoccurring would be prorated taxes, homeowners insurance, payment amount. So, if you want more information about that, just don't hesitate to call or reach out. That's part of my buyer consult. I can kind of talk through all that with you in more detail. If you're a seller, when you go to sell your home, the questions I ask you is what's your estimated payoff balance on your mortgage? And then we look at what types of inspections would be required to sell your home. So, termite inspection, do you have a septic tank? Are there any things like that? And those things go what's called a seller estimated net sheet. So that's where we would take whatever we're going to sell your home for. So say we're going to list it for $400,000, and then we would include the payoff amount. We would include the escrow, the title fees, the brokerage fees, any inspection reports that a seller typically pays for. And we would itemize all that out, and then it would give you your net on what your take home would be after those things are paid off and paid for. Sellers and buyers each have their own closing costs to pay. So when a seller sells their home, they pay their closing costs. When a buyer sells their home, they pay their own closing cost. When we are in a super buyer's market, that's when you can find that sellers will help and contribute more with some of a buyer's closing costs. And that's to be competitive in getting their home sold over all the other homes that are on the market. It's the supply and demand. So if you want to learn more about costs to buy or sell a home, knowledge is power. Don't hesitate to reach out. Any questions, I'm here to answer. It's Cassie Wrona, your local Antelope Valley Realtor and beyond, and have a great week.